Okay, hi everyone, and today we're gonna we'll go through of like the this robot dog of showcasing of what the Tuya AI can do, right? So you have like a voice interaction, video interaction. With a large language model, so you have vision large language model to interpret like what's around the device itself. So it will have like an audio and video understanding of the surroundings, right? So what is TuyaOpen, right? So TuyaOpen, a brief introduction of TuyaOpen, it's like a new AIoT platform. You can deploy this TuyaOpen framework onto your microcontrollers, MCUs that come with the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connectivity modules, or you can deploy them onto like ESP32s, Tuya T5 series modules, and also like Raspberry Pi. This is like a framework of like have a lot of components of like the AI and IoT where you can leverage and you can like do some building blocks, and it will really help you of like how to get your device connected to the app, and also like of how you can integrate the AI models like Gemini, ChatGPT into your hardware itself, right? So like this one said, it's these you see it's like based with Tuya's T series microcontrollers. We will do a brief introduction later. And also like this one is like a really open source community ecosystem. So what's really different between this open source and all the previous like commercial licensing? This one is like fully open source. So like the code is like available on GitHub, and we do have like its Discord channel. So everyone who's interested in IoT, Internet of Things, or like AI integrated with IoT of things, you can join the community, discuss, and also like ask questions or get your issue or feedback for whatever project you're working on. And also like this Discord channel, it's like pretty popular. So like if you have like any live questions or question in development process, or any question of like how to set up, like we do have like developer and engineer in the Discord channel who are like really willing to help out. So if you're interested, you can join the Discord channel. And it's an open source community ecosystem, so we're actively like working with chipset partnerships. So like I just mentioned, like ESP32s, or like Raspberry Pi, or like currently we have like Arduino Q, right? So it's like a Qualcomm based of the SoC platform. So we're actively working with chip partnerships and manufacturers to bring out like how you can integrate this AI and IoT agents onto your hardware, right? And also we do have working with like educational institutions of teaching students and students how to be creative with the AIoT, and having some curriculum and some laboratory experience, hands-on experience of working on hardware projects, right? And then, we'll go through a quick introduction and of how the Tuya AI framework works, right? So people are probably like pretty familiar of how the IoT ecosystem works, because like it's like it's been around for a while, and then it's more of like a sensory or like a on-off switches, like interaction experience. But with the AI have its like growing popularity, we're working on like how you can integrate like large language model onto your hardware. And there are a lot of like challenges of like how you can integrate the into hardware, right? So you have like a power consumption, how you can keep the power as low, as efficient as possible, and also like how you can have the full size large language model deploy onto your chipset. So this is hard because it's either power or price. It's bad because like the large language model running on the edge device, it's challenging. So what we have here, it's like a device cloud-based interaction process. So you can, if you can see the graph over here, the left side of the graph is like the hardware side, where you have all the sensors, such as like a microphone or like a camera, or you have like a temperature sensors. So a fair amount of like sensors and types, right? And then we do have like a API where it can just like efficiently like transfer all the raw data onto the cloud. So this, we can keep all the AI and processing on our cloud server, and which will have like more powerful AI models, efficient models, and more capability, more storage. So this is more like a cloud, a device and cloud integration approach of how you solve like hardware, AI hardware problem to ensure that you can make the hardware as minimal, as cheap, and also as efficient as possible, right? So so at the middle section of the graph you see over here, it's you have like a video subsystem, voice subsystem, where you have like a like code for how you integrate with like a vision model and how you interact with a voice model. Everything is like very API wrapped. So for the developer, you just need to take care of like when to start the AI and where to stop, and where do you get your where you put your input and where you get your output from the model, right? So for the left, it's like a where the TuyaOpen it lives, and for the right, it's like the cloud. And in the cloud, we do have a lot of like features, such as like the AI agents, AI workflow, and or using a large language model to control actual hardware, this kind of stuff, or like a MCP, like a model context protocol, right? So it's like a API for the AI to use for them to have like more capabilities outside of the large language model. So for example, like you can wrap a ticketing for the train in the MCP server and for the AI to use, right? So it's like a list of like API calls, like where the AI can do the function call on. So it's like API for the AI. So if you ask the AI, oh well, I'm actually traveling. I'm actually traveling to Seattle. What is like my possible like ticketing will be like. So the AI will understand your intent, and then it will just like call the API directly to have that interaction between your intent and the actual API servers. So it will get the latest information of like your ticketing information, the price or the time that is suitable for you. So this is like a good way of like having the more capability of like AI and the hardware interaction, right? So to the most right, it's like because Tuya is like a PaaS provider, so it's like a platform as a service. So we have a lot of like cloud services and models that's connected integrated into the cloud platform. You have DeepSeek or like a ChatGPT and Cloud or Grok. So one thing about Tuya, it's like all the product you make, it's global deployable. We meet all the regulatory requirements for all the data safety and AI safety, and then we have the the all the models being regional compliant. So if you ever try to like have to build this idea, and then in the future you ever want to like to make it into production, we do have a lot of like services and have a lot of capability of help you bring your projects to the market. Okay. And to the bottom, so the bottom side over here, we do have a lot of like AI modules. So currently we're working on the Tuya T5 series, and for the hackathon, Tuya T5 series chipset is the chipset we'll be working on, and I'll do more details in the next slide. Yeah, so this is just a brief overlook of like how you can do interaction between the model of device network configuration. You do the information upload, whether it's a voice, video, or text file or images. You can just upload the text from your hardware devices, and then the large language model recognition will be performed online and the cloud server. And when that's completed, it will return the information back to your device for the user. And one thing, the one thing that Tuya really works like really hard to get it right is that for emotion like perception, like we know that in order to build a good machine human to machine interface, the emotion recognition is like really critical. Not only it will recognize your emotion, it will also generate and also have like emotion feedback back to the user. So overall, like the human like to device interface will be more natural. You will feel like they will understand your emotions. For example, like if you lost like $100 like today, and then you tell the AI will actually understand your emotion and will try and comfort you, and or maybe trying to redirect your focus on different things, right? So it's like it's a full pipeline of like emotion perception and also emotion generation. And not only it will generate emotion, it will generate the text to speech. So the text to speech engine is also like emotion aware, right? So later we'll do a demo on the robot dog. So you will get a more understanding of how the emotion engine works. Okay. So this is like for the API call for the detailed API call process of how the device is interacting with the cloud PaaS system. So, like I just mentioned, you have user input. This can be like any sensors, right? If you have like touch sensor, right, it can invoke AI event, right? If you have like, for example, like a proximity sensor or like a humidity sensor, these kind of like data can also be a useful data for the AI to process. So AI do have a lot of like like ability to understand this kind of like data in general. You can also do some like prompt engineering in the cloud to ensure like, oh, you have like a lot of like a humidity sensor. Can you like help me to do a summarize for like a week of data or a month worth of data? So the AI will use the large language model to actually do the process of the sensory, right? So in this particular, like, you don't have to set the boundary of the sensors. So all the sensors it can be used, right? Like a voice sensors, a camera, touch or gesture sensors. So whatever sensor you see of, or whatever module you can find on the market, or whatever use case of the AI you're trying to deploy into, you can find a way of how you can integrate the sensor with the AI hardware. Okay. And then the other part would just be the one I just mentioned. It's like you do the data upload. So we do have like a really efficient, really accelerated like API for all you can, like how you can upload all the data from the sensor, and then do the AI process, right? And then once the AI is responding, it will respond like whether it's like a text or like a speech, or currently we have this like two multimodal. So the response will either be the text or audio. All right. Yeah, and this is like the quick overview of the API interaction. It looks a lot, but it's actually in the code base, it's actually quite simple. So it's just like you start a new session, you have a new event, and you do the video data, you do the audio data. Since the AI model is like multimodal, what the multimodal means is like it will also take in all the sensor and data it have. Like for in this case, it will have video and audio representation of the data, and then once it's uploaded, you can also add more text data. So it's like multimodal. Transfer all the data you have to the cloud, right? And then you invoke the event for process. And once that's done, the AI will do a feedback of like a callback or whatever APIs that will respond the data back to the hardware itself. Yeah. So a little bit more of the TuyaOpen SDK. It's the Tuya we just released our this open source project project this year, and this is like based from our industry leading Tuya OS architecture. So it's already like being verified by like 1.3 millions of like developers worldwide. All the APIs robust, and you can just leverage a lot of like building blocks and modules that's already available in the code base. So yeah, if you look at the software stacks from the bottom up, you have like a hardware capabilities, Tuya T5 series, ESP, or Spare Pi, or other SoC. If you're trying to deploy on Linux, it's also possible. If you deploy onto Linux PC or Ubuntu, it's also possible. And then we do have like abstract layer. So to ensure all the APIs on the top, it's interactable with all the hardware itself. We have all the abstract layer where it will wrap all the hardware capabilities, all the Wi-Fi connectivity capabilities into like a more simpler API where the developer can just like use, right? So this will ensure that you only have to code once, right? So for upper application, you code once, and all the chip platforms using the same hardware abstract layer, so you can deploy all the same application onto different devices or different chipset architectures, right? And then so for abstract layer, so for developer, they usually don't need to like dive really deep into how the hardware or how the chipset is implemented, their hardware interface or their Wi-Fi interface. They just need to use the simple abstract layer, the TAL layer for their coding experience, right? So we have like a memory allocation, start the Wi-Fi, scan the Wi-Fi, these kind of like really simple like API calls where you can just like get you started, right? And then we do have a lot of libraries that's already integrated into the open source project, such as like mostly use of like MQTT servers or TLS security framework, or some of like HTTP, HTTPS framework, also web sockets, or other protocols such as like P2P multimedia like protocols, WebRTCs, RTCs, or some of like malicious like LVGO graphic engines, JSON, and all other like different kind of module where you can just like pull in the module and be creative with external like libraries, right? So for the services, like it's more of like an application level of the architecture. So we have like this one over here. It's like a cross platform development tool. We have this development tool called TOS.py. It's like a TuyaOS.py. It's a Python script, so where it can just like build and flash your device and also do a debugging. It's like a command line tool for your development process. And this tool, all the tool chain and tool sets are like cross-platform compatible. So whether you're developing on the Mac OS or if you're developing on Windows or Linux, all the tool sets you see will be usable and available for you to develop with the TuyaOpen, right? And then since it's like a more of like application level, it has all the components of the Tuya cloud services like large language model, RAG, MCP, or like a cloud audio speech recognition, FAD, voice activity detection, or multimodal like interaction AI agents, right? And then we have more of like a traditional like AI services. So if you want to like create like traditional like lighting system or like a sensor system, you can just integrate these kind of like modules into your projects. And then we do have a wide variety of like a peripheral that's already compatible to the project, right? We do have a list of like compatibility list you can choose from touch, display touch sensor or displays, or audio codecs, or like SPI devices, or like a GPL expansion. We do have a lot of like a list of like peripherals, like where you can just like to just like bring into it, and just you have like a driver and ready to go, and you can just focus on your application and focus on your project that you're working on, right? And since it's like voice heavy kind of framework, we do have like a audio algorithms like AECs, like echo speech echo cancellations, or like a noise cancellation, or beamforming algorithms like where you can use. Typically, like this is already integrated into like application, so you don't really need to focus on how the algorithm is being used. But if you like really experienced like developer, you can dive into that as also, right? So at the most top, where it will have like all the application you can explore, right? Industrial vision or AI agent, robotics, outdoor, or like smart home system, entertainment, and all of the other like use cases that where you can explore with the TuyaOpen framework. Yeah. So yeah, cross-platform, low coding experience, and it will require low resource of your chipsets. So it's you can run it on the microcontrollers, so it's really efficient. And we do have like a really rich components, like from security to network to IoT, to sensory drivers. Yeah, so TuyaOpen, it's like our next generation of like open source project for all your AIoT development process, right? And people will ask like how do you actually develop? You need hardware, right? So we do. Excuse me. Yeah, so we do have like a Tuya T5 AI core development board. So this one, it's like our flagship chipset for you to develop on. So this one, it's like the chip itself. The chip itself comes with the video and audio capability. So it's really good for like just like use the module just to connect all the audio and video onto the AI models. And the main frequency of the chipset is like 480 megahertz. So it's pretty beefy chipset for you to work with, right? And then it's also have like a pretty native like large language model capability. So all the features AI models I just mentioned will be in like a really usable and really simple API calls to interact with. And it also have since it's like a pin breakout, it will just like you can just put it on your breadboard and you can just experiment. It has like really flexible hardware expansion and hardware interfaces like SPI I2C, or like a RGB LCD. It's also compatible, right? So it's a really one of our main flagship chipset to work on all of these AIoT platform and hardware projects. And this is like the board where you can use it with your in the hackathon event. So yeah, we'll go through that later. And one of that the hardware development process, people will ask like, what is more of like the workflow of the development process? I just mentioned the TuyaOpen, I just mentioned the AI, but how the developer, newly joined the developer to get started with their hands on hardware development. So in this, for any product, for any project you're working on, right? You will need to understand all of your requirements. What are you actually trying to solve with your AI, or trying to solve with the large language model, right? So you need to do a more specific project requirement definition, and then trying to figure out how you transfer these ideas into workable AI features, right? And then the second part is like you can always work with the AI first. It's the minimal development required for you. So in our cloud platform, you can just log in onto like a web page, and then you can just like configure your AI agents on the cloud platform. So no coding required. You just like have to log it in and just like set up your agent. You can do some like prompt, type in some prompt for engineering, and there's also like a quick testing console where you can just like type in like interaction between the user and the model itself to test the AI model to validate whether the product definition you just did is it's a valid or it's a workable solution for your project, right? So it's like a really fast integration and process for you to validate your AI features, right? Once that's more solid and you have more solid idea and more solid AI features, you can now then just go back to the hardware itself and focus on how do you transfer the data onto your AI hardware, okay? And then so hardware, you will just need to ensure all the data or sensors, all the data required. It's like it's matching to the ones you have on the cloud. And once that's done, it's just simple as like flashing your firmware onto your product, and you will just like connect to the cloud. It's simple as that, and it will just have like a you can just like set up and pair with your phone for more features that you can interact with your phone. So all the phones, all the feature, all the UI or graphics user interface can also be customized on the cloud and deployable onto your mobile phone device. Everything's like really drag and drop. So if you have like a data panel or you have like a control sliders or anything like that, you can just like drag and drop on the cloud platform to create your simple UI. And once the device is paired with your phone, it can just like really just be simple as just like pairing with one key. That key is like the product key where it will reference the hardware to the cloud, and everything will be connected as one. So as the AI applications, we do have a lot of applications that will be available for showcasing. So these are the demos and examples we have from T5. This is like based on our T5 ecosystem and chipsets. We have like a dual screen display for emotion representations, and we have like a desktop robot, like an auto open source robot, where you can do like audio like it's like speech interaction, voice interaction with a large language model, and also like a desktop companion robot, right? So these are just the use case of the hardware and the large language model. And this is one of the use case of a full overview of how the hardware and the phone is being integrated as one. This is a lot. Later, like we will share these slides with everyone. So if everyone is like interested of how this is like implemented and integrated, you can dive deep into these kind of scenarios. And then we'll now and go ahead and showcase our first like TuyaOpen robot dog. It's like it's based on our like multimodal AI. So the features I just mentioned like sensory or like a video and audio, everything is like built into this dog, and it comes with like a 4-servo motor, so it's like really cute to interact with. So it's also built with Tuya T5 series modules. So yeah, let me try and turn it on.
The network connection is successful.
Yeah, so
Let's start charting.
so in this application, we do have like a screen display where it has like really cute like with the facial expression of the AI model. So like I mentioned before, we do have like really deep integration of like the emotion, how the emotion is like being perceived from the user, and how it will feedback do the emotion feedback from the AI large language model, right? So hey Tuya, what is the weather in Hangzhou be like today?
Today's weather in Hangzhou is sunny with a high of 11 degrees Celsius and a low of 3 degrees Celsius. The air quality index is 36, indicating good air quality. The humidity is at 46%. And there's a light north wind at 2.4 meters per second. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, so for this one, it's like it sounds like a smart speaker, but actually this one is interested because like it's interesting because the interaction is actually go through the large language model, and it's like really different from what we used to you know, like in smart speaker everything is like deterministics. You can only ask like whether or
Sounds like you're exploring the differences between
you can only
traditional.
ask like weather or play music, but this one is like actually gone through the large language model to interpret that you're asking for weather and get your latest
If you're
information
asking
about
about
the weather.
just let me know the location. Hi.
Can you do a dance? And for this feature, it's like for develop for developer you can actually
Enjoy the show.
for developer actually you can just like to wrap all your AI features into like a function calls for the AI to use, right? So in this hardware we wrap like a dance you know, function call to wrap it into a function call for the AI to use. So once the AI understand your voice saying like you want to move forward, you want to dance, or whatever feature you're trying to intend with, it will just like call the function call. So it's like a really good way of using the large language model to interact with the hardware, to use it as like an actual hardware interface of bridging the hardware capabilities with the AI itself.
Processing it sounds like you're discussing how to affect. Hi.
I do have a globe. I do have a globe over here.
Hi.
What do you see over here? It does come with a camera, so it will do the.
Bright lighting. And in the next image, there's some equipment or objects related to a workspace. Finally, there's a globe being held.
Yeah, there's a globe being
Which is
held.
a great tool for exploring geography. If you have questions about any specific item or need more information, just let me know.
Yeah, so this is like a really good example of how you can leverage the camera on top of it and do understanding a perception of its surrounding, right? The vision will transfer the image as like a single image to the AI. The AI do have like multimodal input, so for voice and video, it will do its understanding and will do audio feedback back to the hardware itself, right? So this is like a really cool demo for showcasing of how you can leverage the multimodal of the cloud servers and platform to create like something, some hardware that is like really flexible, right? Yeah. So if you have any questions, just like go ahead and ask any questions on the Zoom meeting, and yeah. And for later, like we do have more slides on more details of like how you can get started with the development process of TuyaOpen, and also have like a quick startup guide where you can just like clone your repository from the GitHub, and how do you can start your build environment. It's just like simple as 3-4 commands, and also how you can just go into your project directory and build your own project, right? And actually do the flashing and testing process and steps. So the tos.py, it's a Python script I just mentioned. You can flash and you can do like a monitor for servers for device logs, and yeah. So this is just a quick cheat sheet for you to get started. Yeah, if you have any more questions, just leave the message at the Zoom meeting, and or ask any more questions on the Discord channel, and I'll see you there. Thank you.